Corner Workman, Sergeant Major John Champ Chapter, Sons of the American Revolution. Yeah, listen, I want to pull this thread a little bit more about how to increase, I'm going to call it customer engagement. That's what they do in business, right? But how do we increase our ability to sort of just share who we are, right? Sons of the American Revolution, what we do, we educate, we promote patriotism, and we do history as well. So part of what our chapter is taking on is to make sure that we sort of share that in both verbal, right, as we meet people at events, but also through infographics as well. So, we got 250. It's here. If you haven't been keeping up on the news, 250 is here. So we've been asked to be in a lot of just static events that we normally do 20 plus parades a year. We have a nice big float, subject of another video, but we've been doing more and more static events where we show up. Now, some of them may be indoor, where we have a table. Some of them may be outdoor, where we have a table and a tent, and then depending on the size of the area, we'll bring our float as well, and we'll use the float as the base. But so regardless, I'm going to highly encourage y'all guys to create some infographics of who and what your chapter is about. Now, I'm going to do the same thing for just SAR in general, but I wanted to show you some custom infographics that our chapter has created so that we can have readily available anytime we go anywhere to do anything. It's just super duper simple. So our chapter is called Sergeant Major John Champ Chapter, Sons of the American Revolution. And so, the big question is, who the heck's Sergeant Major John Champ, right? So we have this, this is a 2 foot by 3 foot infographic, right? And, basically what we've done here is we've got, in this case, the mission. So he was a spy, picked by Lee, assigned by George Washington to go capture Benedict Arnold the traitor, right? So up at the top we have the mission, right? We have the man, so that tells a little bit about who Sergeant Major John Champ was, and then we have the plan, the plot, right? And then we have the unraveling, and then we have this legacy, right? So he was born, or actually had a house here. I don't know where he's born. He had a house in Loudoun County. He ultimately moved out of the area, but we still choose to honor him as a Loudoun patriot, right? So anyway, so let me tell you a little bit about this. And I've said this before. This is it's called foam poster board, I guess. Maybe that's what I call it, foam poster board. It's got thick, it's got some strength to it. And what I do is I actually have a 2 foot wide printer that I print these graphics on, right? And I use adhesive back paper, and I just take off the back, put this on the foam board, and the next thing you know, you have this really super duper nice infographic that you can take, anywhere and use whatever. Because what happens, what we've been noticing when we're at these static events, is that there's a lot of people that want to talk to us, right? A lot of times there's only 2 or 3 of us there at the event. And so we have a lot of people, they sort of come up and look around, mill around, right, and leave. But we're trying to, keep them longer, right? So we want stuff that takes time. They can take, a few seconds to read this, and hopefully it'll pique their interest, and they'll wait around until, somebody's free to talk with them, right? So anyway, so we've done that with our chapter. Now, the other thing I've done as well is, for Virginia, our little, I'm going to call it theme for lack of a better term, it's the voice, the pen, the sword. So the voice is a gentleman, I'm sure you know, Patrick Henry. The pen is obviously Thomas Jefferson. And then the sword, even more obvious, is General George Washington, right? So those are all Virginians, and so we actually have some infographics here as well, right? So in a similar kind of theme, this is the one about George Washington, right? There's the Virginia seal, and then at the very bottom, Gladius. So I'm going to assume that's Latin, the sword, 1781, right? So if you look, I have the same sort of format. I got the man, then I have the sword, and then the legacy for these. So that's General George Washington. I have Thomas Jefferson as well. Again, the same kind of a format. And then I have Patrick Henry. Right? Same theme. The man, the voice, right? Give me liberty or give me death. Is there much more of a famous Revolutionary War quote than that, you know? And then the legacy, right? Vox, the voice, 1765. And that was a long time, you know, before we declared independence. But anyway, listen, I want to encourage you to reach out to me, Warner Workman. If you want just some more information on this, I'll be more than happy to share the graphics with you. You know, the process that I do it. It's super duper simple. But, you know, what we want to do is be prepared, right? Like the Boy Scouts, be prepared, right? I had given a speech one time, right? And the thing was, what was success? And I stole this, and it's not original to me, but it's preparation times opportunity, right? And so we want to be prepared to engage people, right, who want to learn a little bit more about the Sons of the American Revolution. And if a descendant, we want them to join Sons of the American Revolution. So with that said, I'm going to do a few more of these little infomercials, we'll call them. Hopefully to help guys, chapters, come up with some stuff. Again, just really low cost, almost no cost, kinds of things that will increase. We're going to call it customer engagement, public engagement, American engagement with our organization. So hopefully these have been helpful. Call me, text me, email me, whatever the case may be. God bless. And if you look, I got a little patriotic train that runs around the top of my little patriotic room. So there's the Sergeant Major John Champ. I got multiple hats. There's a bunch of guns here. Some of them are percussion rifles, and I just got the new Charlottesville, of which I did a video of that. And I got all kinds of stuff here. I got American Eagle. It's crazy. Anyway, this is my little man cave, and this is where I got a little American flag over here. I'm a big train buff. I'm a big train buff. Anyway, God bless. Take care.